Have you ever, like, gotten one of those emails that just felt a little, I don't know, off?
Off.
Yeah, it's like maybe it looked exactly like a message from your bank,
Uh-huh.
even had the logo and everything.
Right.
But there was this tiny detail,
Okay.
a weird font, or a slightly off-kilter tone that just screamed, "Danger, Will Robinson!"
Yeah, that feeling, that gut instinct is your own personal security system kicking in. It's fascinating how we develop those internal alarms in the digital age.
It is. And that brush with the potential phishing expedition got me thinking about today's deep dive.
Oh, okay.
We're going to unpack some really fascinating research from a study called Not All Victims Are Created Equal, Investigating Differential Phishing Susceptibility.
Okay.
Now, that title might sound a little intimidating,
Yeah.
but trust me, the
Okay.
findings are anything but dry.
Interesting.
This study is packed with those aha moments about why some people fall for phishing scams again and again while others seem to dodge them with ease.
Right.
And that's what we're here to explore.
Okay.
You see,
hmm
phishing is like that digital mosquito buzzing around our inboxes, but why do some people seem to swat it away every time while others are constantly getting bitten?
Yeah, the researchers focused on a group they call repeat clickers.
Repeat clickers.
Yeah, folks who fall for phishing links repeatedly, even after going through security training.
It's almost like that friend who falls for the same prank over and over again.
Right.
You want to shake him and shout, "Don't you see the bucket of water above the door?"
Yeah.
But here's where things take a turn.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Because what researchers found challenges that very assumption. They discovered that repeat clickers weren't less knowledgeable about phishing tactics.
Okay.
In many cases, they knew just as much as those who never clicked a suspicious link.
Hold on. For real.
Yeah.
So it's not about lacking the know-how.
It's not.
This is where my curiosity is officially piqued.
I like it.
So if it's not about knowing better, what's going on with those who repeatedly take the phishing bait?
Right.
What makes them different?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
But before we unpack the why, let's underscore how important this is.
Okay.
The study revealed that repeat clickers account for 3 times the risk compared to other users.
3 times.
3 times.
Okay, so this isn't just a few folks accidentally clicking the wrong link.
No.
This has some serious implications for all of us.
Exactly. And it underscores that simply telling people to be more cautious isn't enough.
Right.
We need to delve into what's truly driving those clicks.
Okay.
And that's precisely what makes this research so captivating.
So if it's not about lacking knowledge, what sets repeat clickers apart,
Right.
I'd imagine most people would assume it boils down to personality, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe they're more impulsive or easily distracted.
That's what's so fascinating about this study.
Right.
They actually dove into a whole range of personality traits
Mm-hmm.
using what's called the Big Five, openness, conscientiousness, that whole spectrum.
Right, right.
And get this, no significant difference
Really?
between those who repeatedly clicked and those who didn't on any of those personality measures.
Wow.
It really throws a wrench into those initial assumptions, doesn't it?
Yeah, my brain just did a double take. They're not knowledge deficient. Their personalities aren't waving red flags.
Right.
So what did the researchers uncover about repeat clickers that set them apart? Give me the
Oh.
inside scoop.
Get ready for this. The study did identify 2 key distinctions, and they're pretty surprising.
Okay.
The first one revolves around locus of control.
Locus of what now?
Locus of control.
Okay.
Don't leave me hanging. Break it down for me. Essentially, locus of control is about how much influence you feel you have over your own life.
Okay.
An internal locus of control means you believe you're the one steering the ship.
Yeah.
You make things happen. An external locus of control means you're more prone to feeling like things just happen to you. Fate, destiny. You get the idea.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm following you.
Okay.
So how does this connect to falling for phishing emails?
Here's where it takes an interesting twist.
Okay.
The study found that those who consistently clicked phishing links were more likely to have an internal locus of control.
Wait, seriously, that feels completely counterintuitive.
Yeah.
You'd think someone who believes they're in the driver's seat would be less likely to get tricked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this finding so intriguing.
Yeah.
While we can't draw definitive conclusions from a single study,
Sure.
one theory is that this belief in personal control might actually make them more receptive to training.
Oh.
They might think, if I learn this stuff, I can prevent bad things from happening.
That makes sense, but then why do they still click the phishing emails?
Right.
Yeah.
The other possibility is that a strong internal locus of control could, in this specific context, lead to overconfidence.
Oh,
They might be more prone to thinking, I've got this.
yeah.
You can spot a fake email from a mile away,
Right.
even if that's not the case.
Ah, so it's like a double-edged sword.
Right.
Okay, it's one piece of the puzzle. What was the other key difference they found?
This one might resonate a bit more easily.
Okay.
It's called need for cognition. In a nutshell, it reflects how much you enjoy putting in mental effort, how much you relish diving deep into complex information.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people are all about solving puzzles, while others are content just admiring the picture on the box.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And guess what?
What?
The study found that those who repeatedly clicked those phishing links tended to have a lower need for cognition.
So they're less inclined to pause and dissect every single element in an email.
It seems that way, yeah.
They're more likely to go with their gut feeling or maybe their ingrained inbox habits.
Exactly. And let's be honest.
Yeah.
We all do that to some extent.
Right.
Think about the sheer volume of emails we navigate every single day.
Oh, I don't want to.
We can't possibly scrutinize each and every one.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like trying to read every billboard while zooming down the highway.
So it's about information overload. Okay, so we've got these two fascinating individual differences. Locus of control and need for cognition.
Right.
But I have to imagine the email itself plays a role too, right?
Absolutely.
Not all phishing attempts are created equal.
You are speaking my language. And you are absolutely right.
Okay.
The study actually used something called the NIST Phish scale to evaluate how tricky each phishing email was to spot.
A phish scale.
NIST Phish scale.
Okay, now my curiosity is officially hooked.
Okay.
Tell me more about this scale.
Well, it's not as simple as tossing an email on a literal scale. It's
Yeah.
based on two main aspects.
Right.
First, it looks at the message cues, those little red flags that might tip someone off that something's fishy.
Like a misspelled word or a link that looks a little too shady for comfort.
Exactly.
Okay.
The Phish scale also takes into account how well the email's premise aligns with the reader's own experiences and context.
Right.
For instance, an email about a lost library book probably won't be very convincing if you haven't stepped foot in a library in years.
Right. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. But even knowing all of this, I've noticed there are times when I feel more susceptible to a well-crafted phishing email.
Sure.
Like if I'm feeling stressed, sleep-deprived, or just drowning in my inbox, those sneaky emails seem to slip through the cracks more easily. It's like my phishing defenses are down.
You're definitely not alone in feeling that way.
Okay?
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
The study discovered that emails playing on self-relevance, the unfinished, and the mysterious were the most successful at getting those clicks.
Really?
Remember that banking email you mentioned earlier?
Uh-huh.
The one that almost hooked you?
How could I forget? It practically had my name in flashing neon lights.
Exactly. That's the self-relevance aspect working its magic.
Right.
And the unfinished element might have been something like, we've detected unusual activity on your account. Click here to learn more.
Oh, yeah.
It creates that sense of urgency,
Right.
that need to complete the task, even if that task leads you straight into a trap.
It's like they're playing psychological chess with our natural curiosity.
Yeah.
So tell me, what kind of phishing emails totally bombed in the study? Just to give us a little hope for humanity.
One that stands out is an email offering a free iClicker.
iClicker.
You know those little remote control devices some professors use for quizzes and such?
Ah, yes. The bane of my college existence.
Right.
I remember those.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
This study took place during the COVID-19 pandemic when most classes were online. So offering a free iClicker just wasn't that tempting for students who were stuck at home on Zoom all day.
Right.
The context was completely off.
So even master fishers can't predict a global pandemic.
Apparently not.
That's oddly reassuring.
Oh.
But let's circle back to those of us who can't seem to resist that click, even when we know better.
Right.
What can we actually do about it?
Well, consider this. What if failing a phishing test could be a good thing?
Hold on, you're going to have to walk me through this one.
Okay.
Failing equals good.
Think about it in terms of learning.
Okay.
We learn from our mistakes, right?
Right.
Especially when we receive clear, immediate feedback.
Okay.
And this study actually incorporated that into its design.
Okay.
Participants received instant feedback on the phishing emails, highlighting what they missed.
Yeah.
That immediate feedback is crucial for learning and improvement.
It's like learning to ride a bike. You're bound to take a few tumbles along the way.
Exactly.
But each fall teaches you something, and eventually you're cruising down the sidewalk with confidence.
Exactly. And when it comes to phishing, the goal isn't about never clicking. Because let's face it, that's probably impossible in this day and age.
Right.
The real goal is to become more aware of the factors influencing our choices,
Okay.
to learn from each click, and to develop that heightened awareness we talked about earlier.
So it's less about achieving perfect unclickability
Right.
and more about strengthening those mental muscles that help us make smarter decisions online.
Precisely. It's about graduating from the school of hard knocks in the digital world.
I love that analogy.
Mm.
Speaking of learning from those clicks,
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about training people to resist phishing, but here's a question for you to ponder.
Okay.
If you were designing a phishing awareness program, how would you tailor it to different personality types?
Oh,
How could you make it more relevant to people's lives, really hit them where they live, digitally speaking, of course?
that is a great question.
Yeah.
And a great place to wrap up our deep dive for today.
This deep dive has really peeled back the layers, showing us that even seasoned internet users can fall prey to phishing tactics.
They do.
But with a little self-awareness and a willingness to learn from our mistakes,
Yeah.
we can become more resilient in the face of those sneaky digital traps.
Absolutely.
Till next time, stay vigilant,
Stay vigilant.
stay curious,
Stay curious.
and happy clicking, but,
Right.
in a safe and informed way.
I like it.